right, so let's start with, tell me your top priorities for the District of Lovejoy.
My top priorities, just the first
Top two.
So my priorities for Lovejoy are to continue the good work that our current school board and administration have implemented, where they are working really hard to get us on the right financial track. And they've done a great job so far, in my opinion, and I want to continue to help them with that process. Also, I think it's important that we, in Lovejoy, we have a growing population of people that are aging in place or alumni families. And I think it's important that we bridge the gap with those families and pull them in and make sure that they continue to stay involved in our district, because we're a small district, but we need the community, we need the help of all of the community members. And so I think it's important that we're engaging with them and communicating with them and bringing them along with what the priorities of Lovejoy are, so that we have the full support of our community.
Yeah, I'm Mark Wheelis, and I think every school district in Texas has one of the same challenges, which are financial issues with funding from Austin. And as a CFO and a CPA for $800 million company, I'm in finances every day. And the other challenge we have is also another statewide issue. It's teacher retention. So we've got to make sure we keep our culture at the very top notch to continue to attract teachers to our school.
Okay, we'll stay with you this time, Mark. And my question is, what inspired you to run?
In 2010, I moved to Lovejoy because everybody told me it's the best district in the state, and I truly believe that. We have two kids, a 6th grader and a 9th grader, and I joined the foundation in 2014, so 9 years I've been on the foundation. I'm president, past president, been treasurer, and so the whole time I've been here, I've been giving back to the community, been dads at heart, and coach the kids basketball, so just spending time in the district and making sure the district stays great.
So my inspiration was just a heart for kids in our community. I have my last child will be graduating in May, and I have a lot of friends in the community. All of my friends in the community still have kids in the district, and I just have a heart for what the opportunities are for them, and I want to make sure that those things continue, and make sure that Lovejoy is just working with our community members, our teachers, to make sure that our school district stays top notch like it has been. So as a mom and a volunteer in the classroom and office volunteer, and all of the things that you do are so important, and I just want to have time now as somebody that's going to not have kids to run around. I think that I can spend that time helping our district out at the board level. So.
All right, well, so here's your first tough question. Are you ready? Tell me, and this is actually, I literally just came up with this on the fly, so good luck to you. Tell me a story of one of your favorite stories about a teacher that impacted your life growing up.
Well, that would be my mom. She wasn't my teacher, but she was a 1st grade teacher in McKinney for almost 20 years, and I think the best way to describe her is the way that one of her students described her. Miss Galbraith is a teaching maniac. She loved her kids. She taught in McKinney. She taught kids from the east side of McKinney, and she taught kids from the west side of McKinney. And she had a heart for those kids, and she wanted desperately for them to all learn how to read, and not just learn how to read, but to love reading and to love writing. And that was her passion. She was a stern teacher, and a lot of parents at first were like, "Ooh, I don't know, you know, she wasn't the cutesy one, whatever." But she won the hearts of her parents, and she won the hearts of her children. And she really was their favorite, and that just was pervasive in her life with my children too, that she always wanted them to read books, and she always made those provisions for them. And that I think is what all of our teachers, our great teachers, are, where they just have a passion for kids to learn and to grow, and so yeah, that would be my person.
We have run a really clean race, but I'm going to one-up her on this one. Yes, my mom's a great teacher, and I would say her, but I'm going to go back to first grade. I was a very competitive young boy, and I would get all of my math assignments in, and they'd be A+. I'd get all of my reading assignments in, and it'd be a 10 or 20 if I was lucky. And I actually did first grade twice. I was diagnosed with dyslexia, and by having the teacher that pours into you, I was able to go to GT by 4th grade. So getting from dyslexia to GT, that was probably the most meaningful teachers that I had.
Awesome. Okay, and then, so when they gave my bio, they said that I was a veteran and yada yada. Mental health is something that's super important to me, and so I'm curious if you could talk a little bit about how you think mental health plays into the school district and what you would do to help make sure that kids are comforted in that way and supported.
Yeah, I mean, we got to look at the welfare of every child. It's not just your GT kids. We got to look at the SPED kids, and you got to make sure that you create the right environments, whether it's on their athletics or the band, and give every kid an opportunity, and then have the counselors available. Because after COVID, there's a lot of kids that are still suffering.
I think the best way for our schools to impact our children is to have good connections with their teachers. The teachers are on the front lines of knowing these kids. They spend so many hours and minutes a day, many times more than what parents get to spend with their children. And I think if we're fostering a district that has teachers that are pouring into our kids and having the time in the classroom, not just to educate the kids, but to just really engage with them, I think that will contribute a lot to the well-being, because teachers develop good connections, they have relationships, they develop trust with the kids, and I think that's really important key to that mental health aspect. And I think it's important that if there is a problem, because there will be, I have a child that had that in college, and it was the connections with people in her professors and outside community that really helped her get through that. And I think that having the counselors available if something is identified, so that they can then engage with the parents and then really let the parents take control of what's going on and work alongside the counselors with that.
And then, last question for y'all. Tell me, what is one or two ways that you think you can really spur and increase parental involvement in schools?
Well, we're very fortunate in Lovejoy that we have such a high turnout for parental involvement in every aspect of our district. From people that serve on the foundation, to people that donate to the foundation, to people that are room parents and volunteer with PTA, PTO. We are just very blessed in Lovejoy with that. So as far as encouraging more of that, I think that it's a matter of communicating to the community what the needs are. And I think that I actually really think Lovejoy does a great job with that. So again, we've got a large portion of people in our community that don't have kids in the district anymore, and keeping them involved and engaged, I think is a way that we can increase that. So is that right?
That's good.
Yeah, I think we are very unique in that Lovejoy, we have a scholars program where basically we get over $1 million a year for people coming into our district by paying tuition. And just at our foundation event 3 weeks ago, we raised over $400,000 from the parents and it's amazing just the parental involvement we have. I think the only area that I think we should probably focus on is we have a retirement community within our boundaries, and reaching out more to Heritage Ranch to get more volunteers in the classroom, because if we can figure out how to reduce some head counts possibly in the cafeteria area by having Heritage Ranch come out and volunteer 1 day a month, it can make a difference.
Awesome. Thank y'all very much.